Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today is time for another breakfast chat. And I decided I'm going to be festive since this is basically going to discuss Christmas. And again, seeing a common trend. Guess what I'm eating today, guys? Bison and rice, just like every morning. Also, what I have before bed every night in the evening, afternoon. Cranberry juice. Standard breakfast for me. So, let's talk a little bit about food and the holidays. Okay, one of the things that we're going to see all this week, and this is going to come from tons of influencers, and I hate that term, are going to be all over social media. You're going to see YouTubers making videos discussing with people how to manage their diet, basically how to manage their body image disorders over the holidays. And I don't think that this is helpful. Now, people have noticed, maybe they haven't. I quit doing this years ago. I used to cover these sort of videos too. And here's just helpful advice for people who don't want to gain a bunch of fat over Christmas, right? And it's everything from, you see some people on here literally taking Tupperware, which is ludicrous. You're bringing Tupperware chicken to a family gathering, as if there's not going to be any lean protein there. People discussing also, well, if we go in fasted, all of this stuff, and I want people to think about this for a moment. This is what people are going to recommend, and this kind of goes to show you the problem we have is that the fitness world is largely dominated by people with an unhealthy lean obsession. Now, that's a problem. And I'm not saying that the other is better, because obviously we have an obesity crisis. And push come to shove, realistically, someone probably being a bit too lean is probably, not guaranteed, probably healthier than being 50 pounds of extra fat. Okay? And it seems like anytime someone wants to bring up the other end, you have athletes and lifters like me who just stay at a healthy, normal body fat. I don't get ripped. I don't care about being ripped. We'll bring this up, and then all of a sudden we're fat and we're promoting obesity. And that goes to show you how severe the mental illness is here. Because if people literally see it that way, it's a problem. It's a problem. Like if you see an athlete who's 18% body fat and you think they're promoting obesity, you probably have a body image disorder personally. The issue is that at least 50% of the people who are putting out information have body image disorders. The biggest fitness YouTuber is basically an anorexic, and if you listen to the way he discusses how he stays lean, the strategies he uses, it's basically an anorexic mindset. It's not just being healthy and lean, it's an anorexic mindset. And he pushes this onto his followers. Not healthy. And people will make these videos feeding into all this. They want their followers to be as sick as they are. And let's be realistic here. Unless you have a very specific reason, the very idea that you're going to miss a holiday because you're afraid of gaining 1 ounce of body fat is insane. That's a problem. Because realistically, how much fat do you really think you can gain in a day? I want people to really think about that. If you were to come and overeat and binge until you were sick on Christmas Day, let's assume you go all out. Does anyone really think they're going to gain 5 pounds of body fat? It's not even biologically possible. You're going to gain some water. And that's the other thing that people bring up. Well, I've got to make weight or whatever. Do you have a powerlifting meet or a bodybuilding show next week? Okay, I get it. If January the 1st, January the 3rd, you have a competition where you have to make weight. Okay, fine. That's the exception. But a lot of those competitions, I think they realize it's the holidays, and most of the good ones are not going to schedule 1 week after Christmas. They tend to schedule before. Okay? Because they know people can then go out all out on the holidays a bit. But if you don't have an event like that, you're concerned about water. You're not going to gain several pounds of body fat from a Christmas pig out. You're not. And in fact, from a single day of overfeeding, you're not even going to be able to gain a single pound of body fat. I don't care how much you eat. Your thermic effect is going to be enormously high. But if you were to eat tons and tons of high-fat food and eat 10 or 12,000 calories, you might gain, you actually might gain half a pound. You might gain half a pound of fat. How long does it take to burn that off? A week? 1 week? You will have gained muscle also. And I've seen Alan Aragon write about this, that people worry about these binges. He's like, yeah, but that enormous anabolic environment you get from the overeating also puts muscle on. So you're not just gaining fat, especially if you've been training. If you've been training hard and you've been pushing relatively hard, that day or two of overfeeding is probably going to put just as much muscle tissue on you as it does as fat. And it's going to create a very anabolic environment for muscle growth over the next week. It's not going to hurt you. And the problem is that we have people who are literally disrupting their social lives over basically a body image disorder. And we have people who are making videos on how to do it. If you just do this, we can minimize, look, if you just eat clean and stuff year round, fine. And I know lifters who do this. In fact, I had this discussion on my private Facebook where all my clients, coaches, other lifters are, friends, family. It's not open to the public. So the powerlifter Ryan DeWitt came in yesterday on this topic and pretty much said, yeah, I mean, I eat the same though, because I'm just used to eating, a lot of lean proteins and vegetables. So I just show up and just eat that same stuff and I just skip the treats. How's that for a viable strategy? Okay? Instead of this whole binge and purge mentality, which is exactly what all these strategies are, it's the case of everyone telling their followers, well, what you can do, you can just fast going into it and do a bunch of training or do fasted cardio or a leg day the morning of and then go feast. We're getting back into almost that binge and purge mentality. You have to create the reward so that you can reward yourself with the binge. Right, if you're lifting and most of us are trying to gain muscle and strength, so what? 1 day, 2 days a year of having a big cheat day on the holidays, and you can reel it in, guys. You don't have to eat the entire pie. You can eat a bunch of the leaner meats, leaner proteins and vegetables, and then eat your treats afterwards. Okay? And if you do it that way, you're going to gain very, very little. You're going to gain water weight. That water weight is gone within a week. But it's not fat tissue. But if anything, that little bit of overfeeding, that joy and happiness you spend with loved ones, what happens? We recover, we gain muscle, we supercompensate some glycogen stores, and you are ready to kill it the next day or two in the gym. Right? You're ready to train. You're going to make gains off of it. Go in and use it to fuel PRs. And if you follow me, you're hitting maxes anyways. If you're following my channel and you don't max out every week, I don't know what you're doing. Probably don't follow this channel too closely. Go in and set some PRs. But everyone up here projecting their weird ultra lean obsession onto everyone else isn't healthy. It is almost as unhealthy as the obesity epidemic that we have. And look, guys, just because one thing on the extreme is bad doesn't mean that we need to shift all the way over to the other most ridiculous extreme. Okay? And that's what we're dealing with. There's a healthy middle ground, and that healthy middle ground is massive. But this lean obsession, the ultra lean ripped obsession that this community has developed is unhealthy. And this sort of stuff that we're seeing in the videos displays the sort of mental disorders that the actual people putting out information have. These are not well people at all. And they want to then project their illness onto their followers in the name of health and fitness. Right? It's not good. And people need to stop doing it. And people need to understand that that is exactly what is happening. You know what, guys? It's the holidays. Go and enjoy yourself. Try to eat plenty of leaner proteins on the front side. And just enjoy yourself and have fun afterwards. You don't need to have this bizarre binge and purge mentality. It's not that big of a deal. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.